When did you start making money from it?
Pretty soon, it was about 10 posts in that one post really blew up, and suddenly there were a decent amount of traffic after that. So we put Google AdWords, on, and that generated some money, but I hated it. It was like, this is so like not authentic. It was not like in the spirit. It kind of like made this ugly. It's like, I feel like I created this like little special kind of custom place for people to come. And suddenly there was like these other companies there, like with their cheesy ads. And I was like, get out of here. So that stopped, and we turned to Patreon to try that at the urging of a friend of mine, Philip Detmer from Kurzgesagt. He was like, you got to just do it. So I tried it, and it was great. And that's been a nice support ever since. And then, when you have enough readers, you can start to supplement with stuff. We have merch, started selling things, started doing some speaking, so it's like, you can, there's a lot of like ways to kind of cobble together revenue once you have a decent following.
Can I've actually never spoken about this, but I've never had the chance to with someone in this position. When you think about the revenue makeup of the business today, what does it look like in terms of Patreon to merch to speaking? I'm happy to also share mine and share ours if interested.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Patreon, it's hard to remember the exact percentages, but like Patreon, is bigger than merch. Partially because we just haven't made that much new merch recently. But there's always, patrons, new patrons. And speaking on a really good year can be, bigger than both of them combined. And then, COVID, that goes away. So that goes on and off. And then just put out a book for the first time. So that was a nice like one-off big, chunk of revenue. But part of the do
you feel like you're selling your soul speaking? I've had many opportunities.
No,
before.
I don't actually, because I don't say anything that's not. It's basically just me taking what I write in my blog and translating it to a different medium, to speaking medium. I'm not gonna get up there and like speak. I'm not going to do what the conference wants me to do. If they say, I'm not going to, if they say, we want you to promote this I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm going to basically something like, AI or the Fermi paradox you mentioned. I'll go if there's a topic that I've written about that a conference wants me to speak about, I'll just go and do the talk version, and there's slides. And, I did that with a TED talk with my procrastination post. So that's why I feel like it's just a way. It's like taking content that if I write this AI post, it actually doesn't make much money because it's just on a blog. If I now go do a bunch of talks on AI, to me, that's the way that all the work I did for that AI post actually can turn into revenue. Is like it comes later in the form of speaking.
Do you worry that to scale your revenue and scale your media business, you lose the constraint-free life that you craved? That's the exact position that I have.
That's why we haven't actually, I've been pretty resistant to doing too much that's focused on revenue because of that. Like and the same reason that, 6 years ago, we hired Alicia, who's the manager of lots of things, which is just like the second in command at Wait But Why, and does a little of everything. And that's about it. I was just like, I don't want a big team. And, yes, we could have more money if we had more people writing, if we had a podcast production studio, we could do those things under this brand. But I just kind of resisted that because I just want to be able to like indulge my curiosity full time and work on stuff. Yeah.
Why have you never done a venture? I'm totally going off schedule, but I'm loving this. Why have you never done a venture fund? It's perfectly placed. I would put in place, and I could go on about this, why you should do it. Why have you not done it?
I think it's not that I'm not open to some of these things. It's just that it's like, that's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to take a lot of brain space. And I just feels like I got out of the business world so that I could just spend my time thinking about making cool like pieces of creativity, art, whatever you want to call a blog post or a book. And so I just I kind of want to just keep doing that until I'm bored. Maybe at some point I'm like, I am starting a podcast later, this year probably. And it's like, that will be a different thing, but it's still the same. It's still, it's about like expressing things that I'm learning or going on in my brain or talking to interesting people. So that to me still fits within the realm of like what I got into this for. And I'm just trying to keep it. I don't want to in 5 years or 10 years, turn around and say, this business got so big, but I actually lost what I cared about for it. I'm like, so I think look, there's a lot of, someone like Sam Harris, right? He has this big loyal audience. He's doing what he does for, pretty pure purposes. He cares about, ideas, and he wants to, but he, one revenue making idea that fit perfectly with what he really does is his meditation app, and he makes a lot of money off that. So it's like if there comes around an idea, and we have a few kicking around that's like, this fits with what we're doing. It's part of the thing I want to be doing, and it also can make a lot of money. Then great, we should do that. But like part of what's nice about having had that business before is that we have some other revenue sources that allows Wait But Why to kind of have pure motives and not have to do anything that I don't think it fits with the brand.